In a game that promised to set the tone for North Carolina's season, tragedy struck as starting quarterback Max Johnson was carted off the field with a serious injury. The Tar Heels managed to eke out a 19-17 victory over Minnesota, but the big story of the night was the loss of Johnson, who had just started his journey with UNC after transferring from Texas A&M. This video breaks down the game, the injury, and what lies ahead for the Tar Heels. In a dramatic Thursday night clash in Minneapolis, the North Carolina Tar Heels secured a 19-17 victory over the Minnesota Golden Gophers, but the win was marred by a significant injury to their new starting quarterback, Max Johnson. Johnson, who transferred to UNC from Texas A&M during the offseason, had a challenging debut as the Tar Heels starter. Despite his struggles, he remained a key figure on the field until late in the third quarter when disaster struck. Johnson was sacked by Minnesota's Justin Walley, and as he fell, his right leg twisted awkwardly beneath him. The stadium fell silent as Johnson grabbed his knee in obvious pain, and moments later he was carted off the field, his parents watching in stunned silence from the stands. Johnson's arrival at North Carolina had been seen as a fresh start after an up-and-down career at LSU and Texas A&M. His experience minus 22 starts and 30 total appearances was a critical asset for the Tar Heels as they sought to replace former star quarterback Drake May, a first-round NFL draft pick. However, Johnson's debut was cut short after completing 12 of 19 passes for just 71 yards, with one interception and a rushing touchdown. The injury, later confirmed as a hip issue, raised immediate concerns about Johnson's availability for the rest of the season. Head coach Mack Brown, visibly shaken during the post-game press conference, stated that Johnson had been taken to a local hospital and that his status for the immediate future was uncertain. Brown expressed his sympathy for Johnson, emphasizing the blow this injury dealt not only to the player but to the entire team. Backup quarterback Connor Harrell, who served as the understudy to May last season, stepped in following Johnson's exit. Harrell, a redshirt sophomore, had previously started in UNC's bowl game and now found himself thrust into a critical role. He managed to lead the Tar Heels on a crucial drive late in the game, culminating in a go-ahead field goal by Noah Burnett with just 1:44 remaining. Harrell finished the game completing 2 of 4 passes for 34 yards, showing poise under pressure as he guided the team to victory. Minnesota, meanwhile, was left rueing missed opportunities. The Golden Gophers, who have struggled offensively in recent seasons, faced high expectations with the arrival of transfer quarterback Max Brosmer from New Hampshire and running back Marcus Major from Oklahoma. Brosmer's debut was a mixed bag while he completed 13 of 21 passes for 166 yards and added a rushing touchdown. He also lost a critical fumble deep in Minnesota territory. The Golden Gophers' offensive line, expected to be a strength, faltered as Brosmer was sacked 5 times, preventing him from finding any real rhythm. Minnesota's offense, which ranked near the bottom nationally in passing last season, showed flashes of improvement but ultimately fell short. Brosmer struggled to push the ball downfield, with Minnesota's longest pass play of the night being just 28 yards. The ground game, which was hampered by the absence of injured star sophomore Darius Taylor, sputtered in the second half, with Major gaining only 3 yards after halftime. Despite the setbacks, Minnesota had a chance to steal the win. With just seconds left on the clock, preseason All-American kicker Dragan Keswick lined up for a 47-yard field goal, but his attempt sailed wide right, sealing the Tar Heels' victory. The game was a tale of 2 teams searching for offensive identity, but it was ultimately overshadowed by the injury to Max Johnson. North Carolina now faces an uncertain future at the quarterback position, with Harrell likely stepping in as the starter moving forward. Meanwhile, Minnesota must regroup quickly as the loss exposed lingering issues that could make for a long season if not addressed. For the Tar Heels, the focus now shifts to Johnson's recovery and how the team will adapt without their expected leader under center. As both teams look ahead, the impact of this game could resonate far beyond the final score, shaping their respective seasons in ways no one could have predicted before that fateful third quarter. Max Johnson's injury casts a shadow over what should have been a triumphant start for North Carolina. With the quarterback position now in flux, the Tar Heels face an uncertain path forward. As we continue to follow this developing story, make sure to stay tuned for updates on Johnson's condition and how UNC plans to navigate the rest of the season.